There comes a moment in life when we begin to question the direction we are walking. We may have chased after success, wealth, or love, only to realize that none of these pursuits truly quiet the restlessness inside. Even in the most beautiful moments, there's a subtle unease, a whisper that something essential is still missing. It is in this quiet tension, between what we have and what we seek, that the Buddha's teaching on the Noble Eightfold Path begins to speak to us, not as a doctrine to believe in, but as a living path toward freedom. Welcome to Buddha's Wisdom Journey, where we explore the timeless wisdom of the Buddha, not through rigid belief or intellectual debate, but through direct experience, reflection, and inner transformation. This channel is not about philosophy for the sake of thought, it is about learning how to live, how to walk through this world with awareness, compassion, and balance. And today, we will journey together through one of the most profound teachings ever given, the Noble Eightfold Path Simplified, the Buddha's roadmap to liberation from suffering. When the Buddha attained enlightenment beneath the Bodhi tree, he didn't preach divine revelation or demand worship. Instead, he revealed a practical path, a way of living that transforms the roots of human pain into the soil of awakening. The Eightfold Path is not a commandment, it's a practice, a discipline of the mind, speech, and action. It is the art of walking through life with mindfulness, wisdom, and compassion guiding every step. Yet, many who first encounter the Eightfold Path see it as something distant, ancient, abstract, or overly philosophical. In truth, the Buddha's path is profoundly human. It meets us exactly where we are, in our confusion, our stress, our longing, and gently guides us toward clarity and peace. The path does not belong to monks or scholars, it belongs to anyone who suffers, anyone who questions, anyone who dares to live with awareness. So, what is this path? The Buddha described it as 8 ways of living wisely, each supporting and balancing the other. Right view, seeing life as it truly is. Right intention, aligning the heart with compassion and clarity. Right speech, using words that heal, not harm. Right action, living ethically and peacefully. Right livelihood, choosing work that nourishes rather than destroys. Right effort, cultivating wholesome states of mind. Right mindfulness, staying present in every breath. Right concentration, deepening awareness through meditation. Each of these 8 elements weaves together into a single tapestry, a life lived in harmony with truth. They are not steps to be climbed one after another, but facets of a single jewel, reflecting the light of awakening from different angles. The Buddha called it the middle way, because it avoids the extremes of indulgence and self-denial. It teaches us not to escape life, but to walk through it with open eyes and an open heart. And this is where the journey begins, not somewhere far away, but right here, in the ordinary rhythm of our days. The Eightfold Path is not about escaping the world, but transforming our relationship with it. It's about how we speak to others, how we treat ourselves, how we respond to pain, and how we meet joy without clinging to it. It is a gentle reminder that freedom is not found by running away from suffering, but by understanding it. In the Buddha's words, just as the ocean has only one taste, the taste of salt, so too, my teaching has only one taste, the taste of liberation. The Eightfold Path is the taste of that liberation. It doesn't promise perfection or eternal bliss, instead, it offers something even deeper, peace that comes from understanding, compassion that arises from awareness, and wisdom born from experience. Throughout this exploration, we will simplify and humanize each part of the path, stripping away the complexity to reveal its heart, practical, compassionate, and profoundly relevant to our modern lives. You will see how right view is not an intellectual concept but a way of seeing your own thoughts clearly. How right effort is not about forcing yourself to be good, but about gently nurturing what is already good within you. And how mindfulness, concentration, and ethical living are not religious duties but simple ways of cultivating joy and harmony in everyday life. So take a deep breath. Let go of the idea that enlightenment is somewhere far beyond your reach. The Buddha's wisdom was never meant to be distant, it was meant to be lived. Every breath you take, every word you speak, every choice you make, these are the very moments in which awakening unfolds. As you listen, let the words be a mirror, reflecting your own heart, your own struggles, and your own potential for freedom. You don't need to believe in anything. You only need to see, to feel, and to be present. The Eightfold Path is not about becoming something else, it's about remembering who you already are beneath the noise of confusion and craving, a being of clarity, compassion, and peace. This is the Noble Eightfold Path simplified, a journey back to simplicity, to truth, and to the unshakable calm that has always been within you. Stay with us on Buddha's wisdom journey, and together, let's walk the path not as followers of a teaching, but as travelers awakening to the light of our own hearts. When the Buddha pointed out the Noble Eightfold Path, he did not create a rigid doctrine for us to believe in, but opened a way for each person to experience and realize the truth for themselves. That path is not somewhere far away, it begins right within each of our thoughts, actions, and breaths. Every step on this path is a step of returning to clarity, returning to the pure awareness that has always been present within us. Right view, seeing things as they truly are. All suffering in life arises from wrong seeing, from a perception veiled by ignorance. We often do not see things as they are, but through the lens of like and dislike, desire and fear. When something happens, the mind immediately reacts, I like this, I hate that, I want to keep this forever, I don't want that to happen again. It is in these very reactions that the wheel of suffering begins to turn. Right view is not believing in the Buddha's teachings, but seeing the nature of reality, seeing that all things are impermanent, without a fixed self, and that all suffering arises from clinging to what is not real. When we begin to see clearly in this way, attachment gradually dissolves. We no longer see ourselves as the center of the universe, no longer try to hold on to what is passing, and no longer fear when facing loss. Seeing things as they truly are does not mean becoming cold or indifferent. On the contrary, when we see everything in the light of impermanence, our hearts become gentler. We understand that everyone is suffering in the cycle of greed, anger, and ignorance. So compassion naturally arises. When vision becomes clear, understanding and compassion bloom together in the heart. Right view is the foundation of the entire path. Without right understanding, all our efforts, whether in practice, doing good, or meditation, can be misguided. With right view, we walk through life without getting lost. Whether we face favorable or difficult circumstances, we can still smile, knowing that everything is but the flow of causes and conditions, coming and going like clouds drifting across the sky. Right intention, the direction of the mind. After seeing clearly, the next step is to direct the mind rightly. Right intention is the current of motivation that arises from wisdom and compassion, not mechanical thinking, but an inner orientation toward goodness. The Buddha taught that there are three forms of right thinking. Thoughts of compassion, causing no harm to oneself or others. Thoughts of renunciation, letting go of attachment and craving. Thoughts of non-ill will, cultivating peace and forgiveness. In daily life, we are often driven by endless streams of thought, comparing, envying, blaming, judging. Every small thought can plant the seed for an action, and every action creates karma. If we do not look deeply into our own minds, we will be swept away by that unceasing current. But when practicing right intention, we begin to turn inward and observe, what is my mind thinking? Where does this thought arise from love or from fear? When the mind turns toward compassion, every thought becomes a seed of happiness. When the mind gives rise to letting go, we become free amidst all entanglements. And when the mind holds no anger, we become a peaceful refuge for ourselves and others. Right intention is also how we speak to ourselves. Whenever something hurts us, instead of feeding resentment, we can listen to a gentler voice within. I understand. I am hurt, but I choose not to hurt more. The power of right intention lies not in suppressing emotions but in transforming them. We do not run away from suffering, we recognize it and embrace it with understanding and love. Right speech, words that heal. Speech is the bridge between ourselves and the world. A word can heal or deeply wound. Right speech is the practice of speaking truthfully and gently, coming from understanding. It is not absolute silence, but speaking what is worth saying, at the right time, in the right way, with a heart of compassion. In an age where words spread faster than light, through social media, messages, and countless communication channels, we need to practice right speech more than ever. Every word we say is like a seed sown into another's heart. If we plant seeds of understanding, the world around us will bloom. If we plant seeds of anger, that world will burn in the fire of delusion. Speaking truthfully does not only mean avoiding lies, but also refraining from embellishment, divisive speech, and idle talk. But more deeply, right speech is the natural expression of a peaceful mind. When the mind is no longer shaken by greed, hatred, or delusion, our words naturally become clear and gentle. A soft word of comfort, a sincere encouragement, can change someone's whole life. Right action, deeds of clarity. If right view is seeing, right intention is mental direction, and right speech is expression, then right action is the concrete manifestation in daily life. It is what we do with our bodies, how we behave, choose, and affect others. The Buddha taught, abstain from killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct, three seemingly simple principles that are the foundation for nurturing compassion and respect for life. When we act with a pure heart, even the smallest deed becomes a practice. A gesture of help, an act of environmental care, or simply slowing down to avoid stepping on a small insect, all are expressions of right action. It does not lie in scale but in the intention behind the act. A person walking the path of awakening need not do extraordinary things, only live mindfully in the simplest matters. Right action is action not driven by instinct or desire but illuminated by wisdom and compassion. Right view, right intention, right speech, and right action, these first four factors of the Noble Eightfold Path are the foundational stones for an awakened life. When we see rightly, think rightly, speak rightly, and act rightly, the outer world begins to change in harmony with our inner transformation. True change does not come from miracles, but from each moment we choose to live in the light of mindfulness rather than the shadow of ignorance, after the mind has been rightly oriented through right view, right intention, right speech, and right action. The Buddha teaches us to continue nurturing mindfulness in our way of living, through right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. The remaining four factors of the Noble Eightfold Path form the foundation for sustaining and deepening the inner life, allowing wisdom and compassion to become not just ideas, but living breaths in every moment. Right livelihood, living through a pure vocation. In modern society, people are easily drawn into the whirlpool of fame, profit, competition, and fear. Many choose their work not because it brings true value, but because it brings power or security. Yet if a profession causes harm to life, to morality, or brings suffering to others, then no matter how much wealth it brings, our hearts can never be at peace. Right livelihood is living through a rightful occupation, not only lawful, but also aligned with compassion and wisdom. The Buddha taught that those walking the path of liberation should avoid occupations involving killing, trading weapons, poisons, or deceiving others. But more deeply, right livelihood is not only about what work we do, but about the state of mind in which we do it. When we work with a peaceful heart, not for personal ambition but to contribute, work itself becomes a form of meditation. Every action, every breath, every moment of labor becomes an opportunity to practice mindfulness and nurture compassion. Right livelihood teaches us to choose a way to sustain ourselves while keeping our hearts serene. A person may sweep the streets or run a great enterprise, what matters is not status, but the consciousness with which it is done. If one's actions arise from love, honesty, and a wish to serve, that is right livelihood. Right effort, diligence in awareness. On the path of practice, effort is essential. But it must be rightly directed. Some practitioners are extremely diligent, but lacking right view, they strive in delusion, forcing and blaming themselves, which only leads to greater restlessness. The Buddha called this wrong effort, striving in ignorance. Right effort is effort guided by wisdom, gentle yet persistent. It is composed of the four great efforts. To prevent unwholesome states from arising. To abandon unwholesome states that have arisen. To cultivate wholesome states not yet arisen. To maintain and strengthen wholesome states that have arisen. Right effort is not about forcing ourselves to be better, but about nurturing the energy of mindfulness each day, so that every thought, word, and action is illuminated by awareness. When we have right effort, whether working, walking, or washing dishes, we are still practicing meditation. The strength of right effort lies in perseverance without exhaustion, yet without extremity. It is like rowing a boat. On a river, row too hard and we tire, stop rowing and we drift away. Right effort is the art of maintaining balance, neither rushing nor neglecting. Right mindfulness, the art of presence. Among all the Buddha's teachings, right mindfulness is the most precious jewel. It is the breath of awareness, the energy that allows us to live truly in every moment. When mindfulness is present, the past no longer pulls us back, and the future no longer frightens us. We return to the present moment, where life is actually happening. Right mindfulness is not tense concentration, but gentle awareness of what is present. When we drink a sip of water, we know that we are drinking. When we take a step, we know that we are stepping. When the mind is sad, we know that the mind is sad. That's all, yet in that very awareness, freedom begins to bloom. Without mindfulness, we live like sleepwalkers, eating without knowing we are eating, speaking without knowing we are speaking, loving without knowing we are loving. Thus life passes by without us truly living it. But with mindfulness, even ordinary moments become profound, and we touch the still essence of being. Right mindfulness is also the gateway to true understanding and compassion. When we are fully present with another, listening without judgment, looking without reacting, we offer them the most precious gift, our presence. In that moment, both are healed. Right concentration, the stillness of wisdom. When the previous 7 factors have been cultivated, the mind naturally develops stability and clarity. This is right concentration, the state of deep focus in which the mind is no longer disturbed by delusive thoughts. Right concentration is not dullness, but luminous stillness, like a calm lake perfectly reflecting the sky. In meditation, as the breath settles and body and mind unite, we touch the deep silence within, where there is no longer separation between self and world. In that moment, we understand that all suffering, fear, and anger are but passing waves on the surface of the mind. Our true nature is pure stillness, the wisdom that neither arises nor ceases. Right concentration is the temporary destination of the path, yet also the beginning of enlightenment. When the mind is concentrated, wisdom arises naturally. When wisdom shines, all bondage dissolves. It is then that we see the true nature of reality, impermanence, non-self, and dependent origination. One who has right concentration is not someone who escapes the world, but one who lives within it peacefully. Even when storms arise, their hearts remain unmoved, for they have found a true refuge within themselves. The harmony of the Eightfold Path. The 8 factors of the Noble Eightfold Path are not 8 separate roads, but 8 aspects of one single path, the path of awakening. When we have right view, we see rightly. Seeing rightly, we think rightly. Thinking rightly, we speak and act rightly. Living rightly, we strive rightly. With right striving, mindfulness and concentration arise naturally. And when the mind is concentrated, wisdom deepens, making right view even clearer. All flow together like a river merging into the sea, without division, without conflict. This is the movement of wisdom and compassion in everyday life. The path is not outside of us, we ourselves are the path. Every step, every breath, every mindful moment is the Noble Eightfold Path unfolding. When we understand and live this path, life is no longer a race to achieve something, but a journey of returning to ourselves, to the peace that is unconditional, to the happiness that comes from within. This is the very essence of the Buddha's teaching. No one saves us but ourselves. No one can, and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path of awakening. After going through the 8 factors of the Noble Eightfold Path, we realize that this is not merely a path to liberation found in scriptures, but a way of life, a state of being amidst everyday existence. Each step in right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration is a step back to the very essence of life present here and now. The Buddha never taught that enlightenment is something distant. He simply showed us how to clearly see the nature of suffering, and from there, transform suffering into wisdom. When we understand that happiness does not lie in achieving something, but in the ability to look deeply and live mindfully in every moment, the spiritual path no longer feels like a difficult journey, but becomes a gentle return, a return to the breath, to the body and mind, to the stillness that has always been within us. This path does not require us to leave the world, but teaches us to live within it without being bound by it. When we work, when we love, when we face pain, we can still practice the Eightfold Path. For the most miraculous thing is not how long we can sit in meditation, but whether we can maintain awareness amidst all the movements of life. The Noble Eightfold Path is not a philosophical theory, but a living current, where each breath, each thought, and each action is imbued with the energy of mindfulness and understanding. When we live like that, even though the world outside is full of turmoil, it can no longer shake our peace. We realize that peace does not come from controlling circumstances, but from understanding ourselves. We may still have to work, to take care of things, to face the challenges of daily life, but when the mind is illuminated by the Eightfold Path, everything becomes a practice. We eat mindfully, work mindfully, speak mindfully, and love mindfully. Every small act becomes a seed of enlightenment. When we deeply understand the Eightfold Path, we also realize that all paths meet at a single point, that is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the bridge between suffering and liberation, between ignorance and wisdom. And right in the moment we look deeply into our mind, the Buddha nature, the pure and luminous essence within, begins to reveal itself. Practicing this path is not to become superior, but to live truthfully. When we are true to ourselves, we naturally become more compassionate, more understanding. We no longer see the world as a place of struggle, but as a field to cultivate love and letting go. That mindfulness lightens our heart, eases our life, and makes each breath carry a deeper meaning. If you ever feel weary amidst the flow of life, if your heart sometimes feels empty or lost, remember that the path of return is always right beneath your feet. There's no need to go far, no need to search. Just stop, take a deep breath, and listen. In that stillness, you will hear the call of the Noble Eightfold Path, the call of freedom, mindfulness, and peace. The Buddha once said, "Like a bird flying through the sky, leaving no footprints behind, so does the awakened one, walking through life without being bound by it. That is the most beautiful image of a practitioner, walking through the world with a free and peaceful heart. Each of us can become that awakened one, not by waiting until we are perfect, but by beginning today, with one mindful word, one kind action, one conscious breath. If these words touch your heart, if you are seeking a path to live more peacefully, more deeply, and more meaningfully, join us on the Buddha's Wisdom Journey channel. Each video on the channel is like a small offering of incense, dedicated to stillness, wisdom, and compassion within every being. Subscribe to the channel, and together we will continue on the path of awakening, where each day, we learn to listen more deeply, understand more clearly, and love more fully. If you have your own reflections, or any questions about the teachings of the Noble Eightfold Path, please share them in the comments below. Perhaps your sharing will plant a seed of understanding for someone else on their journey of returning home.